Coach, I know it's hard to reflect, but I think competitiveness was the theme from day one of training camp to now. Do you feel like your message from then, has resonated in the way you hoped it would?
Yeah, I think so. But again, we'll reflect tomorrow more so.
What did you think of maybe the competitiveness tonight? Looked like, pretty close game, maybe a couple things you could have
Yeah,
pushed up. Not going to look at film, but what did you think of tonight's effort?
I liked our effort. I thought our guys worked hard. I didn't think we worked smart at times. And that's probably been the issue for the majority of the season. But I thought we had a pretty good start, with Cooch reading the lineup and being around our dressing room this afternoon and before the game. Again, it's kind of this last little stretch. We've had some good starts. We don't score. And then the first chance against goes in the back of our net. So, that's the tough part. But I thought we competed tonight. Did some good things, gave ourselves a chance going into that third period. I know we were down 2 goals, but we were saying the right things. Just came up short.
Georgiev just told us that Sharks are going to move on from him this off season.
That's quick.
Yeah. Anyway, just how would you assess his time with the Sharks, and also, I guess, what are you guys kind of looking for next year for another goalie?
Yeah, I mean, game just ended, 30 minutes ago, so I'm sure we'll get to that next few days. But came in, gave us some good games. Obviously, he's trying to find probably a tough season, up and down with Colorado and us. Tried to find his game at times. He could get it. Just probably the consistency was probably the issue. But we wish him all the best.
Is there, a little bit of a relief now that the season is over and the frustrations have ended?
Yeah, it's an emotional time in a sense because, there's relief that season's is over, and it was a tough one, right? The wins and losses weren't what we wanted it to be like. But there's also a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of work to be done. Starts with myself, our coaching staff. We'll start looking at some things and reviewing some things. What we want to change. There'll be a lot of work to be done.
Kind of part of your message, maybe after the game here with the group.
Yeah, I'll talk to the group tomorrow.
So what are some of the things that you felt as a team you improved during the season?
I thought we were pretty structured. I thought, we were organized, what we wanted to do. I think the execution wasn't always there, but I think for the most part we were structured. We competed, for the majority of the season. This group went through a lot as far as movement and transaction-wise, but we stuck together. The leadership group did a good job as far as keeping it together and helping our younger players with Goody, Toph, Wenberg stepping in. So we saw some growth individually, but again, a lot of work to be done.
Fans tonight obviously saluted. Good cheer,
Yeah.
special moment for him and special moment for the team too, just to see
Yeah.
that appreciation for him.
Yeah, awesome moment for the fans to recognize him and what he's done for this organization, what he's done for the players, not just here, past players. He's touched a lot of people. He was a great leader, and he'll always go down as one of the best players that ever wears that uniform. That's for sure.
You guys ended here with 11-game losing streak, the longest of the season, but it did feel in some ways that it didn't feel like 11-game losing streak. There's only maybe 2 of those games, the LA, New York games, that are just were routes, and otherwise though, all the other games I think were close. Anyway, did you just kind of feel like this losing streak just didn't feel like that in a way?
Yeah, it didn't. I thought, we were playing some good hockey. There was times you wouldn't know we only had 20 wins. In that Minnesota game, you would have thought we were playing for a playoff spot. So there were some positives that we can come out of this. But I think going into next year, we got to start winning some close hockey games. That's for sure.
Comparing the end of this season to last season, then can you kind of be proud of the way you guys closed, even though there's the losses, but just the way you guys played?
Yeah, I thought we competed to the end, and we didn't give up. We never gave up, no matter what the scoreboard said, no matter what was going on with player movement, whatever the situation was, adversity-wise, we never quit, and we just kept playing. And proud of that group in there for doing that. This is a tough time to play. Even though it's a National Hockey League, I get it. We get paid a lot of money to do it, but when you're not really playing for a playoff spot or push, and You go up against some teams that are pushing. Those are tough games. And Calgary's games, Minnesota game. You know, we hung in there and we fought. And I got to give the group a lot of credit.
I feel that goal differential is one of the major improvements this season as compared to the last.
Yeah, but it's not even close to where we need to get to.
Yeah, of course.
We were talking
We're gonna have time tomorrow, guys. Last one.
Go ahead, Curtis.
Curtis,
I'll give you
go
one.
Get it in there, Curtis.
we were talking with Henry, and you know he was pretty blunt about his season. Didn't really so from his standpoint. Is this a big off season for him? Is to ensure that he can be a big part of this team going forward?
You know, we'll get into that, a lot of the individuals tomorrow, I assume, with you guys, but it's a big off season for a lot of our players, and our conditioning needs to get a lot higher. You know, the way this league is played, you need to get strong, you need to be physically ready to go, but it's a big off season for a lot of players.
Okay, thanks,
Thank
Horst.
you.
Thanks, Coach.